Why do we allow, quote unquote, the club to dictate value when most people are listening in headphones or cars?
Because it's youth based. So like these kids are growing up and can't wait to go to the club. So once they get to the club, they and it's different even now, because when we went to the club, we actually had fun at the club.
We didn't have phones.
Didn't have HD cameras. It wasn't about buying a section and buying hookah. It was actually about going out and having fun. My whole issue with the whole thing is that both can be true. You can have fun hip hop songs. You can have rappity rap songs. You can have songs about family, growing up. I mean, because hip hop has grown up right before our eyes. So like, there's a lot of things that can be included in hip hop to the point where you don't feel like you should have to be bored listening to this and downplaying it because that's just not where you are in your life. There's going to come a certain time where that fun, non-rappity rap music that you were listening to is not going to appease to you anymore. You're going to turn it on one day and it's going to be like, I'm just not really feeling this. You know what I'm saying? And then you're going to go back and start listening to some other things. It's like, damn, this has been out for 15 years and I never knew this was that dope. I literally had these conversations with friends that talked about me because of my music taste, and come back later and was like, hey man, that stuff you was listening to back in like 2001 was actually dope, but I was on some other shit then. They're not still listening to that stuff that they was on back then, but they've included all of that type of music into their everyday lifestyle. So like, I feel like it's more of a growth type of situation when it comes to music, as opposed to it's just all leading to everybody just wants to hear fun things. It becomes a matter of time before they actually come around and listen to the other stuff.
Well, music also can be applied in so many different environments, right? Like we don't consume music the same way in all of these experiences. Like how you listen to it when you're washing dishes is probably not the same as when you're at the club or driving in the car with your mom or whatever. So I don't know. I mean, I think that the whole club test thing, there is some music is better dance music. It's better to move your body to. It's better to like I'm not discounting that because I do think that that's true. But at the same time, like there's just different times and spaces for all of these different tunes. And also back in the day, they would do the, again, going back to the marketing and the business, somebody sitting in a room, a suit is like, okay, we need the club record. We need this for the streets. We need this for the ladies. Like that was very much a real thing.
Yeah, it's a formula.
Yeah. So yeah, they were trying to hit that formula. So I think that that's also part of it is ties into the whole concept of singles and how to market.
I say sadly now, it's just for the club piece of it. When we talk about, why is that so weighted? Now it's kind of messed up because now I think it's just a way for other people to see what other people like. And sometimes
that's true.
People don't even really like the song, but they just see other people like it.
Exactly.
And so it's like, well, I don't want to be the one left out. And I think, especially now in the social media era where people are standing around taping themselves in nightclubs saying, it's a movie because they're waiting on so-and-so song to play. They're not even in the moment enough to really enjoy it the same way as it was 20, 25 years ago, where if it was moving butts, it was something that was a certified hit. Now it's like, okay, is this good for content? I think we're just working in a whole different reality now.
The record company doesn't know if you're dancing in your car.
Part.
Like they can't identify.
They really don't know if you're dancing to something in the club.
No, but the human component is I play the song, I see that it works tonight, so I try it again tomorrow and next week. So like, you
look, and we have that experience where like there's a couple records I've told like, Dick, I love this record.
Hold on. What was
O'Neal McKnight?
O'Neal McKnight.
You just grab your coat. I thought that record was going to go, and it didn't do shit.
I used to play it for Jay. Many times.
or even the Estelle record with Rick Ross. We thought
that's actually a good record.
We thought that was a great record, and but the people didn't. So
I think there's a side to it from a creative standpoint where I've sent you records before, both of y'all, you too. It's like I'm curious to see how it works, and that's not going to base everything off of, oh my God, if it doesn't work here, then I need to go back and we need to rework.
You get a real-time reaction, though.
That's what I'm talking about. To me, as a creative, I think there's value there. It's not the end-all, be-all, because people listen to music in so many different phases of their day. So I get that part, but there is something to watching it in real time. Now, even if it's people that's the get along gang or whatever, that's cool.
Yeah,
but
that's what it is now. I don't trust real time reactions.
But to me, there's something about it because I'm trying to see if anybody actually is paying attention to, the record that I've sent you. Just out of curiosity, I just want to see. Yeah. To me, there's value there. Just as a creative, there's value there. But I get what y'all saying. I'm just talking about from a creative standpoint. It doesn't hurt to as I tell you, just run it, see what happens. I'm taking data when that happens.
So are we saying that essentially the reason why we allow the quote unquote club or whatever that's transposed into to dictate everything is essentially just because of commercialism and the fact that
that's fair.
Like that dictates the art.
I wouldn't say it necessarily dictates the art.
You need listeners. You make music so that people will listen.
Yeah.
And the more that I play a record, the more it has chance to gain traction, which means that you'll get more ears, which means that it might, again, it's like we talked about earlier, it doesn't mean that there's no rule that says that art can't be commercially successful, right?
But you got to be able to track it though. And you can track it
in some
way.
capacity. Yeah.
Right.
I guess that's what I was saying. It's just like,
I'm not mad at that. Yeah.
Because if no one hears the music or if it, if it doesn't, like, it's kind of like a snowball, you know what I mean? Like if it doesn't continue to grow, then it will just kind of die. And you guys even know from music making, like it's hard to continue to push something that isn't gaining any momentum. Like you're just going to get tired of it.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, this record is being well received. Okay.
Yeah, but I think
let's watch as we.
But even with that being said, I feel like that's just still it's an interesting metric. Like it's not being received in this environment that I can encapsulate and actually see people's faces for.
Right.
But we can't necessarily track how many people downloaded this record and is playing it in their car or playing it on their phone.
No, Lone, I agree with you because the record not performing when they play it is not the end all be all. What I'm saying is it's okay to get that data. Just in that instance. Just for this one time, I just want to get this data. But it's not the end all be all for the record, is what I'm saying.
No, for sure. I'm just saying in general for this genre specifically, it seems to be that if it's not performing in this public sphere of space, that it's deemed as
a failure.
Essentially.
That's
right?
Fair. That's fair.
I don't think that would be the case for other genres necessarily.
Good point.
And again, it kind of goes back to.
Some overlap.
I see where you're going. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's true. But it also comes back to some of these artists that we were talking about in the last segment never cared about being played on the radio or in the club. There's a lot of very successful artists that never were played on either one of those platforms and are still here today. So it's almost like, what is your end goal? Or are you in here to just get songs played in the club, and then once your songs aren't hitting in the club anymore, you're moving to the side? Because the people that aren't focused on that in general are still here. They might have a song here and there that gets played in the club, but that wasn't their sole intention. Their sole intention was to continue to make good music. This song made it to the club, Miss Fat Booty by Mos Def.
Yeah.
You don't hear very many songs from Mos Def in the club other than that song.
Right.
Yeah.
He's still a successful rap artist at the end of the day.
There's different vehicles to getting your music to listeners. It just so happens that the DJ in turn the club is one of those vehicles. But think about the fact that, like, would we have a Biggie? Would we have a Busta Rhymes if Funk's Master Flex wasn't playing it 8 times in a row at the Tunnel in 1997, right? Now, does that happen again? I'm just because I mentioned this earlier. I don't know how it works in rock music.
Yeah,
they don't have like rock clubs. I mean, they do, but like
it's
not
strip club.
It's like my brother was in indie rock bands. Like I don't. the way that people consume the music, the vehicle is different. But this is, pertaining specifically to hip hop. So
no, that's for sure.
But this kind of goes to I have to give. I know this man has a hard time right now, but Puffy changed the game when it came to what was acceptable or what was released to the public in order to get you in the club. His sole focus was to make a rap song that had an R&B feel that was going to be played in the club. And that was his formula, and he followed that, and that's what a lot of the artists that came up were trying to pretty much duplicate. So I can kind of say that the Bad Boy Camp is solely responsible for making that club sound hip hop type shit.
Well, yes and no.
But he stole that from Heavy D.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Everybody borrows.
He's that's still Uptown though.
He's looking at other things that are metrics of success, and he's like, okay, well that's working, so let me do that. Again, back
which
to the
is
industry.
literally in the documentary.
Yeah.
I mean, but don't get me wrong. I mean, for all the other bullshit Puffy's gone through, like, hey, if you leave it to certain. Maybe Biggie's own device, he'd have a whole album full of Machine Gun Funks, you know, and I would have loved that.
I know you would have.
That's another story. Yeah, like that's the difference between him knowing, okay, we got to have Juicy, Big Papa, that's how we get on the radio and that's how we sell this record. That's the difference between, honestly, Ready to Die and Illmatic. The people who were making Illmatic weren't thinking about getting any of these records on the radio.
And Biggie was able to perform in both sides of that. He could do the radio shit and he could do the hip hop, rapidy rap shit as well. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of was his superpower.
The fact that a song like Juicy and Everyday Struggle are on the same project is crazy.
Yeah.